Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone. It's Anthony Licciardello, and it's
Keri.
Keri Q
Yes.
coming to you with the stats for the month of
September.
September. We're always confused about the months
I know.
because we always got to do it a month back.
Yeah.
But
But this is for New Jersey, Monmouth, and Ocean County.
and you could tell Keri is suffering from a little hay fever,
Yes.
fall hay fever. A lot of people are suffering with it.
Yeah,
It's like
allergies.
allergies, whatever. Those what are they called?
Sad kind of
those
season.
those Japanese beetle things. Somebody says they carry around like.
I don't know.
Oh, what are the Chinese?
Lantern flies.
Oh, the lantern flies.
Aren't they Chinese? Or maybe they're not.
I think I heard that.
I think you might be right.
What was those? They came from somewhere, right? Maybe
I think you're right.
I don't know. That's never mind me. Anyway, it is Thursday, and it is the middle of the month. And we have a lot of things to talk about because there's some notable things in this last report, and I think it's playing out. There's some numbers in here that I would say are a little bit concerning. At least on the sell side of things. And we'll break it down a little bit further because it's Monmouth and Ocean County. Counties move a little bit differently, but what's happened in the South has kind of crept up north. So we'll get into those key stats in a second. But the overall sentiment is that people are expecting things to improve overall. So I mean, the sentiments. I mean, you don't have to look at Wall Street to say sentiment's kind of high, but everything's kind of running at all-time highs. So we had an interesting conversation last week about search trends, and maybe that's what we're going to be dealing with in this report because there's definitely some not so great news here, and we'll get into it one by one.
Yes.
So what do we have? What's the first stat we're going to be delving into?
That would be the average days on the market. So that has increased year over year, almost 16%, and month over month it has increased almost 6%.
Yeah. So the days on the market has been consistently increasing. Not huge, from 32 to 35, 32 last year to 37 this year. It was up to 35. 35 in August. So we've seen this precipitously increasing month over month. So the amount of time it's taken to sell a house is longer. I know that comes as a pet peeve because we deal with this all the time. Everybody puts their house up on the market and think that it's still 2003 and that there's 6,000 offers that come in. They trickle in. If they do trickle in, it's a lower volume market. And I said this before, if inventory kind of came up, we'd likely be in the scenario. So most of this was expected. I can't say it wasn't expected. I think it was expected based on what we've been talking about over the last 6 months. So I think we're kind of there, and these numbers reflect that. So what's the next number we're looking at here?
The month's inventory. So that has increased year over year almost 11%, and month over month 1% increase.
Right. So 10% year over year. Month's inventory in both Monmouth and Ocean counties up 10% year over year. Now, and when we separate this, and I'll get into more individualized data in Monmouth and Ocean County because they definitely are different. And I think Ocean County is seeing considerably more weakness than Monmouth County, which is typical with the way the markets move. Proximity to the city always impacts values, period. So we're seeing it in Ocean County quite a bit more. So it's up again 10% or almost 11%, like you said, and the 1%. So I mean, overall, it's still low. So at 2.89, that's still considered by most stretches a seller's market. And there are bidding wars still taking place in certain locations, but I think the overall sentiment of the market is, you know, the overall sentiment of the market basically is it's not as robust as it was. But we'll get to the next thing. We'll go to the next key stat, Keri.
Yes, which is the sale to list price ratio.
Right.
So that has decreased year over year, 0.70%.
Yeah.
But has stayed the same month over month at 100.1.
Yeah. So I mean, the sale to that's one of the things that hasn't happened. Although the market has increased the sale to list price. Now that's of course of things that do sell. One of the things is we don't have data on like expired stuff, so we don't know whether or not the long term, like if there's a softness there, because a lot of times sellers, they don't sell and they don't go back on. And this report really reflects actually of the houses that do sell.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, so some of these numbers could kind of be off with that. But there, I mean, other stuff that is selling, and I think they're two different. In Monmouth County, it's still over 100, and Ocean County is under 100. So, I mean, this report kind of combines the two, but in both counties, they definitely, there's a divergence between the two.
Mm-hmm.
But that's on the sale to list price ratio, which is basically what people are getting as a percentage of the list price when they put the house on the market. So it's a $900,000 sale. Basically, the sale to list price ratio is basically saying it's they're getting their number almost exactly of the people that do sell. We'll see how that holds up. I don't see that lasting. I mean, it's not in Ocean County though, so I just want to make that clear. Ocean County is a little bit different than Monmouth.
Yes. Now the sold medium listings year over year have increased almost 3%, but decreased month over month 5%.
Yeah, the sold median listing, people are finding cheaper housing. That's one of those things.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's a little bit more of a deep dive into the data. But, as we go through this report, everything is pretty much down month over month.
Yep, just like the sold average listing.
Yeah, this sold median listing, sold average listing, all down.
Yep.
So as we go down the list, the problem is that as we've gone through this, the numbers are reflecting a downward trend in some of them. But there's not much sold median listing. This is what the listed price of the house was when it did sell. So it means that the activity is happening based on medians. Is that people are going after lower priced housing, which is typical. My question is does that trend still continue? A trend, just so you know, in order for us to say a trend is developed, what we really want to look at is a quarter. You want to see 3 consecutive months, and you get yourself a trend. We've done this before, and these numbers have bounced around. Although this is much more, this market's much more profound in terms of, the numbers I've seen recently. So it's really just looking at a more normalized market, and people, like I said, the water level the tide seeks its own level. So in this particular case, that's really what's happening. People's expectations usually don't align immediately with the market. They're overly optimistic after the peak of the optimism, and they're overly pessimistic, after the pessimistic side is kind of waned. So everybody's usually a little bit late to the table. So there's no more bread left when they sit.
Oh no.
You go to the restaurant and you go late. It's like real estate. You get there late and you realize there's no more bread left on the table.
Yeah, I love bread too.
You do, Keri? Well, make sure you get a loaf. Next week, I'll buy you like loaves of Italian bread.
Thank you. Thank you.
So what's next?
The next thing I would like to talk about is the sold average listing. So year over year, it has increased 8%, and month over month, it's decreased 1%. sold average.
Yeah. This is reflective of the tale of two markets: the high end market and the intermediate market. This is where divergences happen the most at any time in history. The high end of the market has done it, like, even when things have typically slowed in the past, the high end of the market usually does worse than any other part of the market. The low end kind of does better, but this market's the first time probably in history that it's kind of worked the opposite way. The mid-range houses having more, the upper tiers, especially New Jersey. New Jersey's got so many upper tier markets now. You go to any place in New Jersey now. I just did. We just posted today on YouTube Livingston, and the median sale price there is $1 million. A lot of counties in New Jersey now, the median, and these places were once considered to be relatively, from a New York standpoint, cheap. But a lot of people from Brooklyn, after COVID, kind of just went a little further west, and that's really what's happened. So New Jersey's really been the beneficiary of price appreciation, probably the best in history by far. This is definitely the highest price appreciation. So, when people are talking numbers with you guys, I know everybody says I'm losing money. I mean, you're really not, because if you got 30% gain over the last 3 years, nobody's going to sell at even if you're buying stocks, nobody's going to sell at the absolute high or the absolute low. Everybody wants to play that role, but it doesn't usually happen that way. But so sellers are still in the profit situation. I mean, this is actually very good. Even though month over month, the sold average listing is down. And that's Wall Street related. I hate to say this, a lot of people buy their houses in New Jersey on margin loans. So they sell stock. They don't sell stock. They don't even sell the stock. They borrow from the stock to purchase property. So they don't officially take a loan. They borrow it against their portfolio holding, which is something you see more common these days. And it's a tax advantage because they don't have to pay capital gains if you're borrowing on margin. And that's how it works. That's why the market's done so well in the higher ends, is that there's no capital gains tax on the sale of a property, on the sale of a stock, because they're just borrowing against their portfolio, and that saves them thousands. You could save 30%. I mean, in some cases, 20% in others, but the short-term capital gains. So picture, talking about having your money purged, even at 20%. They're not having to do that now, so you see a lot of this. That's why you're seeing the prices, especially in the higher end of the market, doing exceptionally well, because they have assets that they could borrow against. So what do we got next?
The new average listing. So that has decreased year over year almost 4%, and month over month it has decreased about 5%.
That's an interesting take. I think people are trying to stay ahead of it. So a lot of times when you start seeing a lot of for sale signs around, people are listing their houses now. We've done a couple of them less than what they were, what the general sales price was in the area. So there are now houses on the market for less than what they sold for a year ago in certain municipalities. I'm not going to speak to which ones. If you want to know that information personally, just let us know in the comment, or send us a DM or whatever, whatever is your preference. But there are some markets where it's pretty rough. So is that reflective of the market? I mean, this could be a little tricky. So I don't want to get too far into that, because there's a lot of nuance. So we just don't want to get too ahead and I don't want to make a proclamation on something that's not thoroughly researched. So we'll leave it at that.
Okay.
What's the next thing?
Sold average sale has increased year over year 7%, but decreased almost 2% month over month. It increased year over year 7%.
Yeah. So sold average sale price is up. It's down month over month. Is that a trend? I think we're going to get to the next one, which is even more profound.
So that would be sold medium sale that has increased year over year 2% and decreased month over month
6%.
Yeah.
So the sold median sale prices, that's even more notable. 6% year over year, a decrease. So it's the first time I've been doing this here that I've seen a month over month difference like that. So there's some pessimism in the market. So 6% decrease in the sold median sale price is significant. It's something to make note of, because I think at the end of the day, when you get something over like maybe like 3% on a month to month, it's like 6% is significant. So that's a considerable drop on the month over month, and we kind of get that sense. I could tell you right now, sentiment earlier this year, although I feel like recently the market moves in these crazy waves. So it goes from, it's like these small like boom bust cycles. It can get very quiet for weeks, very interest rate dependent. Even when the interest rate, and it's funny because there's not a lot of buyers. So what we're seeing a lot of times is the interest rate will drop and you'll get an immediate spike because the interest rate drops. But there's not that many buyers in the market to begin with. So what will happen is the first drop in the interest rate, you get a lot of buyers, and then it kind of slows down immediately. You don't get a window that's too big. And that's important for sellers to understand, is that interest rates may come down. The problem is that at the prices where houses are, there's fewer buyers in the capable stage of purchasing based on income. So where prices are, so you could still have lowering interest rates, but you could also have a situation where you're still not getting a great amount of activity because whether maybe your price a little too high, maybe a whole bunch of factors. There's something more more systemic in where the property is located. Maybe it's near like a highway or something of those sorts. These types of things will really show their head in a market like this, because it's just, like I said, there's more inventory, so they'll usually take a bigger hit on a sale just because of location-based factors. It's one of the things that I've watched through the years. That's pretty much for that. I mean, it's bad. I'm not gonna say it's bad yet. We'll see if that trend continues. It's interesting to see if it does. That's just on the month. Year over year, it's still up 2%. But if it goes like another, so basically, it was probably up, maybe closer to 8% on the year, and just in 1 month, we wiped out a good 6 months of progress on home sale prices. So on median sale prices. So we kind of took 2 steps forward and 2.5 steps back. So it's that's a little freaky, little scary, to say the least. 6% I haven't seen a number like that in a long time, but we'll see.
Yes. The active listings have increased year over year almost 22% and decreased 0.90% month over month.
That's the thing, and that's the elephant in the room right there. Why are things slowing down? Well, last year in Monmouth and Ocean County, there was 3,980 houses on the market. There's now 4,841 as of this report. That's 21% higher. That's significant, and we'll get into a little bit more of those details in some of the specify reports. But there's some numbers in here that shot off the table. Wow. Adult communities have taken a friggin' bath. 20%. Oh my goodness. That's something I want to get into because, right? This is a 20% decrease, right?
Yeah.
The sold median sale price in adult communities in Ocean County, in Monmouth County, are down 20%. So if you're having a hard time selling an adult community, this report's going to highlight the reason why, because that's wildly bad. Phew. No?
Yeah, no, it
I'm
is.
like looking at this could be even real. But I mean, this is straight from the state. I mean, looking at Monmouth Ocean. I mean,
Yeah, well,
but it's down 20%. That's huge. That's
yep.
big in 1 month from 2024 to 2025. So if you're an adult community, you're struggling right now with some of these numbers. Oof, not good. So what's next?
The new listing, so that has decreased month over month almost 7% new listings.
A year over year, it's decreased too.
Yeah, 38.
So we may have just saw a spat in active listings. That's starting to retreat a bit, which may put pressure on values. Guys, I'm going to tell you this right away. There's nothing in this report that indicates any. There's nothing in this report that basically that says that a quick turnaround in these prices haven't happened. It's happened before, so I just want to make that clear. It's happened before. Will it happen again? Where we see a month's decline, then right back the next month. It's possible.
Mhm.
So before we get excited about these numbers, there's no a trend. It would have to be started here, and we'd have to go 3 months to see if that holds up.
Yes. The pending listings have increased year over year almost 8%, but decreased month over month almost 6% also.
Yeah, so I mean the month over month difference is probably more seasonal than anything. Some months are over. I'm not really concerned with any of those numbers. More contracts were signed 7% year over year, so 7% increase, meaning that, and that's reflective of more inventory being out there. So the volume has picked up a bit, and it shows in the total sold listings from last year to this year. The question is how sustainable is that in the intermediate term? Based on some of these numbers, it still could hold. It still could hold up. I mean, I don't think right now I'm too concerned overall with pending listings being pretty solid.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like a year over year difference of a 8% increase means that there's a good amount of activity still. I'm not saying like the people walking through the door, but there are people signing contracts. So I mean, there's still people moving.
The sold listings also increased year over year too, 10%.
Yep.
And month over month decreased almost 2%.
Yeah, seasonal.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it, the sold listings having to do with more inventory this year. The real question is does it hold up? I mean, we've seen this before. I think in the prior report we saw this before. It was basically what had happened was the sales in Monmouth and Ocean County have been higher overall year over year. But some of the other numbers are weaker. They're just a little bit more weaker than they've been, I think, since pre-COVID. But let's get into some wild numbers. These are ones that kind of took off on me.
Yes.
When we were doing the report.
Mm-hmm.
So, right, Monmouth County. The one standout thing about this report is over the last few years, basically in Monmouth County, the average list to sell price has been over 100. So in two areas they've fallen below, and in some cases quite a bit. But these numbers are all over the page, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So the like townhousing condos, closed sales on townhousing condos in Monmouth County up 21% year over year. Prices, the median sale price is up 3.1% year over year. But the percentage of lists received is down. So people are getting a bigger discount, even though they're selling more and for higher. So that's telling me right there that And I think there's a considerable amount of new townhouse and condo developments in Monmouth County. Builders are tending to decrease or give much more of a discount now than they have been in a while. So they're more apt to get rid of their housing stock with the bigger discount. Whether that's happened here, it would be just pure speculation. It's just throwing it out there. But the inventory of houses for sale is also down, right? September from last September, down 5%. Month supply in Monmouth County down 10%. So in certain places, obviously, from 2005 to 2000, from 2004 to 2005, things have considerably dropped. They've dropped off quite a bit in terms of maybe people putting their house or placing their house on the market, which is right new listings 2024 and 2025. So basically, this here,
Oh yes, single family.
the single family detached, down 8% on the year over year.
Yes.
But that's pretty much
Yeah, and let's see, Ocean.
Year to dates. Wow. I mean, Ocean County, we'll get to that because there's some standout numbers. Townhouses and condos, up. Days on the market is up nearly 65%. So if you have a townhouse or condo in Ocean County, 65% increase in the time it takes to sell.
Wow, yeah.
The median sale price in Ocean County on townhouses and condos is down 10%, almost 10%. 9.4, almost 10%. Inventory of homes for sale, townhouse and condo, up 40%. Month supply up 36%. If you're in Ocean County and you own a townhouse and condo, this report is not good for a seller. The buyers, you're putting yourself, there's definitely some, I mean, I haven't seen numbers like this in a while. So just on the, a 9% drop on a year over year on the median sale for just townhouses and condos, not great. And I'm just trying to get a comparison because these numbers are not good at all.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm almost taken back.
Yeah.
How this is the first time I've seen a report like this. This is in Ocean County. You better pay attention because this is significant. Inventories of houses for sales up 40%. In adult communities, again, adult communities in Ocean County up 28%. Median sale price, though, is up 5%, but the percentage of list to sell, 0.5%. But I think that's going to be reflected. Those numbers aren't going to hold up with these numbers. Like with everything combined, we look at the stats, and we tend to read these right from the press. So these are more recent, but shoosh. I'm just looking at the average sale on September. Closed sales, they were up on single family homes. Closed sales were up 10%. Again, the erosion is in the percentage of list price received is decreased. Inventory of homes on the single family side up 9%. So all the leading indicators, not great. The only good thing is that less houses are coming on the market as of last month. So that may draw an equilibrium to these price drops. But specifically in townhouse and condos and adult communities, it's tough. It's been tough. This report is reflecting that. So much so that I think you have to take a little caution here. We'll see how this plays out next month. We deal with low volumes right now, so these numbers could be skewed for a period of time. But if you have a townhouse and condo and you're wondering why you're sitting there for a while, well, this report highlights what that is. And that's all we really have for this report. I mean, obviously, they could watch this in full version of this report on
YouTube.
Yes.
Yeah. It'll be out on YouTube, Nextdoor, LinkedIn, all those.
And when you usually post them, like a couple of days from now?
Yeah.
I have to get the schedule from Keri. Keri puts these things up, so she has the schedule before me. So, but other than that, the report is mixed for the most part. Ocean County is definitely seeing to kind of rehash, obviously go back. Has seen a little bit more difficulty in terms of where the market's heading. We have to really look at a 3-month snapshot. Where I have the biggest concern is in townhouse and condo markets in Ocean County, which has shown the biggest weakness in these reports. So if you're in that position, adult communities, Ocean County also tough. Where inventory of homes for sale, I think it was up 40% last month. It's up 39% this month from a year ago. I mean, it's not a cumulative, so it's more running concurrently, not cumulatively. So it's not like an additional 39%. So, but it's something you have to consider. All right. So, and that's pretty much it for here. Really don't have much else to do. Hopefully everybody's enjoying their pumpkin spice latte. You have a couple of fans in the office. Yeah. Right, Gab? You have a couple. Pumpkin spice lattes. Do you like it? You like it?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
they're good.
What
I
specifically?
love pumpkin everything. I just love fall. It's my favorite. So anything that has to do with fall.
She's in a fall outfit.
I'm a fan of. Yep.
She's in her beiges.
Yep.
Right.
It's my favorite time of the year.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a matching shirt now.
Yeah, you have a brown shirt.
I actually have another shirt besides white, blue,
black.
Yeah, white, blue, and black.
Yeah.
I saw. It's funny because I was in the mall the other day. I saw like these suits that were like pink.
Oh, really?
And
pink?
like this. Yeah, I don't know which store it was. I was like,
I was
like, I would love to just come on and just like wear the not a pink. No, pink I won't do. But like they had like a red suit or like it was like
that could be nice.
Who would wear that?
People wear it.
Well, I don't think it was for a pet. But anyway, yeah, we're not going to do fashion trends here yet. So that's what we have. If you have a question, please feel free to ask, and we'll see you again in a week.
Yeah,
next week sometime. Friday.
Yes.
All right.
Friday.
Ciao, folks.
Bye.
Have a great one.